Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. We're going to be giving updates about crypto, PulseChain, and of course all the latest, hottest news on PulseChain over the last week with Monster Thread number 17. We're going to go through that, and we're also going to give a few little insights around promotions and marketing across PulseChain based on the research that we've done. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We've got Frank White in the house there. Bang, bang. I guess we're going to have to get out the links. People can share the show around. So let's put that out now, and it really helps if you guys take a moment to share the show on X, and bam, bam, let's go. Good to see Frank White in the house, of course. Let's see here. Let's go. That is the link right there. Share the show on X. Let's go. And yeah, we should probably bring up the old PLS start, shouldn't we? We'll bring that up too for the day. So yeah, let's do that. All right, let me jump over to PLS start. We're going to bring that up. Why not? Let's do it. We're going to bring it up when we get to PulseChain, I guess. What does that change a little bit? Oh, it's PLS charts, isn't it? Let me, what's it? PLS starts there, right? PLS start. There we go. We'll bring that up, and there we go. So we'll talk about that later on. Who else in the chat there? We got Frank said, reposted on X. Appreciate that, Frank. Big shout out. And let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with the stock market, go to crypto, and then get into all the big bullish news around ETH and Bitcoin purchases. It's been massive, which is pretty cool. So we'll do that. Let's see. Where are we going to start here? Bam. There we go. So let me get rid of that comment. We got Blair in the house there. Good to see you, Blair. We got Millionaire there as well, talking about higher pump tires. No, I haven't talked about that at all at this stage. We might check that out later on. So hold on to your hats. We've got a big show on. We'll see whether we can fit that in. All right. I haven't really checked it out. So maybe something for tomorrow, maybe. We'll see how we get on. All right. Let's get in. So we've got the Wall Street here. Wall Street ends lower as rulings on Trump tariffs raises concerns. Now, obviously, we've had one of the lower courts, an appeals court, I think it was, basically saying that he doesn't have the right to do the tariffs. It's an extension of the powers he's been given, I think, from Congress. And so they're going to have to take it to the Supreme Court again. So, this is one of the last major tools that the Democrats have is lawfare, of course, and they've had some success with that. They're obviously ramping that up, actually. And Trump's having to knock those down and go to the Supreme Court in a lot of cases to deal with a lot of this stuff. Now, obviously, the tariffs is one of the big three legs of his three-legged stool strategy. It's a very big deal indeed, especially when we see China, India, and Russia, working together and going to be doing a big military parade to show their might, as they say. So, if you're not aware, obviously Russia's fighting Ukraine right now. Chinese are threatening to. Let me say Chinese. It's probably the Chinese people, but the China leadership there in the pursuit of Taiwan, and of course global trade dominance. And then you got India that's currently militarizing, doing imperialism into the West, invading Australia, New Zealand, all the rest of the countries, and it's very stealthily done. Right, it's all done in peacetime, which makes it even more horrific if something really bad happens. So we've got all those three imperialistic powers in play. And then we've got the last man standing for the West, which is Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump, of course, up against the globalists and the Marxists that are ripping our societies apart and taking us from the greatest civilization down a very dark path. So he really is the last man standing there. And so, yeah, it's a big deal. So they're trying to pull him down however they can. And the Democrats are all part of that, right? So we're going to see. He should be able to beat this down. I'm sure the Supreme Court will come to the right decision. It's pretty critical to get those tariffs. Now, in terms of domestic politics, of course, for the United States, they've got the big deficit, right? $37 trillion. and this is one way he was going to deal with that, was with the tariff income, right? So this is kind of where we are right now. So fingers crossed, and I'm sure it's going to end up well, and we'll also have that. Now, he's also already got the tax bill through, remember, and of course a 100% expensing for companies. So that's already in place, and it's for the economic boom and the golden age of America. But of course, it needs the tariffs in place as well. And then, of course, we've seen a lot of regulation, deregulation, particularly in crypto, rolling out. So that's been very positive. So those are the three legs of the Trump strategy. And it's, this tariff's a little bit of a hiccup here. I'm sure it will get done. The markets, of course, become a bit nervous. And so we've seen the opening of the week a little bit down. So this is Tuesday's results. We've got the Dow Jones down over 0.5%, 250 points to 42,300. Remember, the Dow Jones is kind of like the top 30 industrials, at least a group of the industrials. We've got the S&P 500 is down 0.7%, 44 points to 6,415. And the NASDAQ's with all the tech companies in it. Of course, that's been riding on the big boom of AI in particular. That is down 0.8%, 175 points to 21,279. So that's kind of where the markets have opened up pretty much. The dollar is down is actually gone up to 98.38. So that's strengthened a little bit there. Remember, as a benchmark, when Trump came into power on the 20th of January earlier this year, that was at 108. So the US dollar was quite strong there. We also obviously know that the EU works a lot with in an odd relationship with that Axis alliance there between Russia, China, and India. India typically had been the neutral country who both sides had been courting, but I think we've seen that actually they have been siding on the Russian side quite a lot. They've been buying a lot of the oil against sanctions and things like that, and playing a pretty aggressive game. But once again, they are completely imperialistic in the moment in the world, particularly into the West. So we'll see what happens there. It's not good for us in New Zealand or Australia, Canada, Europe, all those places. So it's we're at a civilization problem. Unfortunately, we have a lot of ignorant people in our countries, and ignorant people get rolled, don't they? They get rolled. That's what happens, and they all wonder what happened, and it's too late by the time we wake up. Let's go to commodities. We got West Texas at the moment, $65.60. We got Brent oil at $69. They're both pretty much flat. And then we've got gold, which has been doing really well, hasn't it? Gold been doing beautiful. $3,597. That's up a little bit more today. Off the all-time highs here. But if we go to the max chart, you can see we're right up there at the all-time highs. Isn't it beautiful? So pretty cool. And we're just below that right now. Actually, we're just at the highs right now. So it's pretty cool. Silver at the moment also busted the $40. Very important. Now, as you guys know, we've been talking about for some time. I can't remember how long, 18 months, something like that. Talking about silver going to $75 to $125, and this is a big belief. Of course, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Mr. Kiyosaki, I think his name is, and of course that is busted $40. So we have been busting through the levels, had a lot of resistance to get here, but now starting to get this big rally. So $41.70 on silver. And by my account, if we do get up to the 125 US dollar an ounce at the top of the cycle, for example, then that's not inevitable, though. 75 to 125 is the range. Then that would be over $200 New Zealand per ounce. Pretty tasty, right? I think it's about $208 or something. So pretty crazy. Silver there looking very good. Now, in terms of silver all-time high, it's not there yet, right? We had a little blip back, I think, at 2011, was it? Yeah, 2011 there. I'm not quite sure what that peak was, but I think it was $48. Yeah, $48. So we're still, about $6 or so from the all-time high of all time. So yeah, let's see where we go. But I think we're onwards and upwards to smash that. And like I say, $75 to $125 for silver. Now, one of the things, of course, because we've got this, kind of the industrial age, what they call intelligence age, with AI, robotics, conversion, presumably power packs. Power packs are very important. If you're going to have a lot of autonomous remote stuff, you've got to have very sophisticated power systems, particularly, with 10,000 cycles or more, depending on the type of battery. So this is the age that we're seeing. We're going to be seeing. It's getting exciting, but it's also a lot of downfalls to a lot of this technology, as exciting as it is. So we'll get lots of cool stuff. obviously you get lots of bad stuff with it. So that's just the way it goes, apparently. So there we go. That is the markets right now. Let's have a look at the Fed rate monitor for the interest rate cuts for the altcoin season. We have a quick look at that. 2 weeks and 17 hours to go for that 17th of September. Put it in your calendars. 91% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. So that's looking even stronger than it was before. So that's kind of cool. And then October, what do we got there? Potentially another 25 basis points. The majority of the market now, at least the biggest part of the market, expecting a rate cut. I guess if you add the other two, then it's not. But we've now just got the biggest points there in December. We got potentially another 25%, 36% of the market expecting that. So potentially 75 basis point rate cut. Although I remind you that Morgan Stanley was talking about potentially, I think 125 basis points or 1.125 percentage points there. So we'll see. Bring on altcoin season. Interest rate cuts into the fourth quarter, I should say. And of course, August, September have typically been a little bit more volatile. And September started off that way so far, obviously with some news around the tariffs there. So fingers crossed they kick that under gear. We don't want people to take out the golden age of America, quite rightly, because the alternatives are pretty bad, guys. The alternatives are pretty bad. All right, so let's go into crypto. Well, let's do that, shall we? We've already got some nice comments in the chat there from Property View. Great coverage today. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Diamond Hands in there as well with the old salute, looking good. We've got Christine in the house. Hey, Christine. Hi, y'all. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well, Christine, and great to have you in the chat. Heart with Dogs in the house. Good Moon Suitman and PulseChain fam. Bam, 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 lam, dam. Now, if you haven't seen, Heart with Dog has got the chapter 12 out, right? Chapter 12. You got to go check it out, guys. Each chapter getting better and better and better. I really am liking all the color as well in the anime for chapter 12. It looks so good, but the storyline is really beefing up, guys. You guys got to go check it out. Heartwood Dog in the house. And of course, as I say, it's people are going to look back on the bull run for PulseChain over the period that it's over and think about Heartwood Dog, because it's going to be synonymous, I think, very synonymous with that. So big shout out to the Heartwood Dog team. Right. Nelson Tisha says, hey guys, been a busy day. Hey Neil, I've got to apologize to Neil because I was kind of racking him up online on X, and I was talking about Tetra. I said, he said, I have had a sneak peek at Tetra the other day and it looks good. And I said to him, oh, that's awesome. You got a window for launch. So I was really nitpicking there. So this is my formal apology, Neil. trying to put one on. So I'm going to put one on there. So there we go. Fun times in the old PulseChain. Tetra, they're getting slightly closer. All right, depending on who you ask, of course, All right, let's get into the crypto markets. So we got the total market at the moment, 3.917 trillion. Remember, that's still pretty low in terms of markets, but we are up 2% today. We've got 18,538 coins in crypto. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the moment is $111,000, up 2.2% for the day. Ethereum there is at 4,317, up 0.2%. We got XRP is up 3.3% at $2.85. Number 5 is BNB, up 0.8% at $851. That gets us to Solana, up 6.3%. So this is kind of cool to see this from Solana. A little bit of sign of life there on the old meme chain. And of course, recently we had Liberty Swap, right? Open up Solana to PulseChain. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, that's really great. We've got access to another essential liquidity pool. If you want to think about a chain, chain is just another kind of a liquidity pool there, and a whole ton of user bases, right? So very exciting there. Big shout out to Liberty Swap for that. Number 9 there. So yeah, Solana's sitting at $208, almost $209. So number 9 is Doge, up to 1.8% at 21.5 cents. And then Tron at number 10 is up 0.2% at 33.7 cents. So that's where we are right now on the old Tron. Isn't that cool? So that is Tron. Those are the top 10 guys. Best performer is Solana, up 6.4%, but we're getting nice little moves on the old Bitcoin. Now looking at the top 10 over the last week is Solana as well, and that's pretty much all today, 6.3% there. So that is the mark. Look at the top 100. We've got Mean Core is sitting at number 95. It's up 86% in the last week, so it's powered itself into the top 100. Market cap is currently just under 1.4 billion. We got Pump.fun, which has got a pretty crappy UI, but it enables anybody from their room to launch their own token and stream without a t-shirt on. So look, everyone's entitled to their thing, right? But Pump.fun there, number 94, is up 34% for the week. Number 3 is Story at 60, spot number 60, up 30% for the week. Kronos at number 26 is up 26%. Of course, Kronos has been on a real tear over the last couple of weeks, hasn't it? And then number 5 there is Pole, which is formerly Matic. Of course, one of the big chains that did really well in the last bull market is sitting at number 50, and that is up 18% for the week. So those are our winners, guys, in the last week. Moving top 1,000, we got TDCCP, we got Merlin Chain, and we got Chintai there. Those are top gainers right now. We're going to have a quick look at them. It's in the top 1,000. So TDCCP is sitting at number 450. And we have got a little bounce here. It hasn't been around for too long. May the 9th, and it's just bouncing off the bottom here. 10 cents up to 19 cents. So not bad, little 2x there. And it's on Solana chain. Let's have a quick look at this one. Just to quickly check it out. So it looks like just pretty much a meme coin, is it? No, if it looks at global impact, does look like take down the CCP. action. TDCDP, I think it is. So if that's talking about taking the Chinese party down, it's got some Chinese characters there, English and other languages. So I don't know about that. Don't know if you. It's only the people in China could take down the CCP, and that would be quite a revolution indeed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We know President Xi is definitely having some issues with holding on to power, but we'll find out at the end. Let's get in the next one. We've actually swapped out now. We've got Hemi there sitting there now. They do swap out sometimes. Sitting at number 861 is up 102%. Is on ETH chain. So we'll quick look at Hemi. Side is down for scheduled maintenance. Okay, that's fine. And it's sitting at number 861 right now. Been around for since the August the 30th there, so not too long either. Pretty good chart on the most part, isn't it, for Hemi? Let's have a look. What else we got there? We got Troll, another meme coin. I think we've looked at Troll before, but it's sitting at number 350. It's been around since April 22 on this year, and it's just started racing away since the 26th of July, and not doing too bad there. So it was down at 1.6 cents. Now it's 16 cents. So it's a 10x or so, 11x on Solana as well. Let's have a quick look at the meme coin website, I guess. Yeah, we've been on here before. That is the website there. So there we go. Not too much, but that's sitting at number 350. Pretty highly ranked, actually, isn't it? So those are out. That's pretty much it. We got trending, Notcoin, World Liberty Finance, which launched yesterday, and then Dogs as well. We got Dogs there. I wonder where World Liberty is ranking now. It was about number 33 or something yesterday, wasn't it? Where is it today? Number 33, still number 33, 6.2 billion. So I think it was about 6.6, was it, when we looked at it yesterday? And so that is the Trump family, right? The kids that are running that. So there we go. Market 3.93 trillion, up 2.5%. So we've got a bit of a move on, guys. It's positive. 18,538 coins. We've got Bitcoin at 111,500 and Ethereum at 4,300. Now, obviously, down with this pullback in price on Ethereum, we've seen all the big Ethereum acquisition vehicles buy up Ethereum, right? So that's pretty cool. And not only for Bitcoin, we've seen Bitcoin obviously up 2% today. And Michael Saylor here put this out earlier that Strategy has acquired 4,000 Bitcoin. And more Bitcoin here. Of course, that's huge. Another $450 million at 110,981. But what does that mean? What's 110,000 when you're going to be holding all the way to 13.5 million, which is midpoint at 2045, right? So Bitcoin and has achieved a BTC yield of 25.7% year to date. And of course, they now hodl. Can you believe it? They now hodl 636,000 Bitcoin, acquired for almost $47 billion at an average price of $73,765 per Bitcoin. So there we go, guys. That's the biggest corporate holder of Bitcoin. And of course, only Satoshi, he holds 1 million, right? So they're heading, that's their target is 1 million. They want to be as big as Satoshi. So yeah, there we go. Pretty crazy. Imagine this, guys. Imagine this. Imagine if suddenly Satoshi did wake up from wherever he is, assuming he's still alive and all the rest of it, and then subside to dump all his million Bitcoin. Oh my god, What a carnage that would be, right? What a carnage that would be. But anyway, on to positive. This is very positive, right? So 636,000, and they're in for the long haul. And apparently they raised the yield today from 9% to 10% for holders. They obviously also offer a number of different products, risk return products, for people that might want passive income as well. So a few announcements there from Michael Saylor today. Pretty cool. Yeah, strategic dividend there up from 9% to 10% for strategy. Yeah, there we go. So pretty big news there from the old strategy club. That's for Bitcoin. But on the ETH reserves, we had huge news. Even though we got ETH still down at 4,300, they really are sucking the supply out, right? So just think about that. It's like a lot of pressure. Imagine a pressure cooker. That's what's happening here with the ETH acquisitions. It really is getting pretty aggressive, and the price is about to blow. Let's say, especially leading into interest rates in the fourth quarter. We also see the amount of ETH on exchanges dropping, and these guys are buying, and they're long-term holders, right? So this is really sucking the supply out. It's a major event. Now, what we've seen on the second here, we've seen 5 different changes. Aave DAO, all the traditional players are going down. Generally, a lot of them are going down. Ethereum Foundation going down. Aave DAO down 5,900 ETH. So these guys are going down, and all the new players coming in are going up. Now, some of these new players have investors which are been around crypto for a while, but they're basically all new players. The ETH machine came in today, 150,000 of Ethereum they bought today. So there we go, guys. They're sitting at number 3, and they're now sitting at just below 500,000 ETH. They got 493,000. Let's just make that a little bit bigger there. 495,400 ETH. They're now worth over $2 billion. Isn't that crazy? Really crazy. So that is from Ether Machine, and we do have a little bit of update from them. So good morning, machinists. We just raised another 150,000 ETH in August, 654 million. This is the largest follow-on investment of any crypto treasury company thus far, bringing our total committed capital to 2.5 billion. So there we go. That is it. So pretty neat there from Ether Machine, with the landmark commitment from Ethereum original Jeff Burns, one of the largest individual investors ever in the crypto treasury company. We now have nearly 500,000 ETH. And that's amazing, right? That's amazing. And it gives us scale that's unmatched in the market. So, it's definitely matched by a few others here. We've got SharpLink, but that was big news there from Ether Machine. We also had, obviously, the next big one there was a SharpLink with another 39,000 ETH declared on the 2nd of September, 39 from SharpLink. SharpLink at number 2, and they are now at up a massive 837,000 Ethereum. And it is huge, right? Huge. And they're actually 84% of their target. They're targeting 1 million ETH, right? So pretty crazy. And they're currently at worth $3.6 billion right now. It is amazing, which is fantastic. So SharpLink there looking pretty good. And their target is looking good too. So that is pretty awesome. We've got an update from them too. So SharpLink here, new SharpLink acquired 39,000 ETH at an average price of 4,531, which is higher than where the price of ETH is right now, right? It's 4,300. Bring the total holdings to 837,000 ETH, valued at 3.6 billion. Key highlights, of course, for the week ending August 31st, raised 46 million through ATM facility, added 39,000 ETH at 4,500. Staked rewards 2,318 ETH since June the 2nd launch. Remember, these guys have only been operating for about less than 2 months by my count. I think the earliest one was Bitmine Immersion on the 27th of June was when they started their capital raising, and it wasn't, I think, until early July the 7th, I think, before they got their first Ethereum. So it's really we're still super new. You got to remember, this is by Tom Lee's account. This is a 10-year cycle here for Ethereum. It is massive, right? So we're only at the beginning. It's almost like day one. No, not quite, but it's pretty close. Week one, let's say week one of 10 years. I don't know, but it's pretty crazy. Raised 46 million. That's huge stuff, right? And of course, ETH concentration 3.94, up 97% since June the 2nd. Cash on hands, another 71 million yet to deploy. So they've got more money to deploy. But these guys, they're going to continue to raise a bit more money because they're heading towards 1 million. That's their target, right? Now, like I say, once these guys reach their initial targets, they can always, it's just a function of human nature to want to get bigger. So we'll see what happens, how far further they go. Total ETH there, 837,000. Amazing, right? Amazing. So that is from SharpLink there. And looking pretty good. So that is number 2. The next one, of course, we saw was Bitmine Immersion, the big player in the house. Look at that acquisition there since the 13th. Had nothing. And then, of course, up here to the 20th. So I was slightly a bit earlier than that, but they did capital raise between 27th of July and 7th. And then, of course, we've got this absolute aggressive acquisition. Look at this, all the way up here. Isn't that crazy? And so now they have added another 74,300 Ethereum, and they are now up at 1.9 million Ether. Isn't that amazing? You know, their target is 5 million, guys, and they're at 31% of that target. So they got a lot of ETH to buy. They want to get it for as cheap as they can, and then, of course, pumpity pump into the future, right? They want to become a sovereign put, 5% of the supply. So we'll see how that goes. So that is from Bitmine Immersion. They gave a nice little update here. So we'll get into that. Bitmine's August chairman's message video is out as well. So if you haven't seen Tom Lee, go check it out. Lots but highlights, tailwinds there. In fact, I might paste this one in the chat actually. So this is for Bitmine. If you're in the strategy club, I would have posted this already. So it's one of the advantages of being a strategy club. We've got all the links in there, so you can go check them out. If you haven't joined Strategy Club, the link is in the video description. Highly encourage you to join up. Only $35 a month, really great value. Got the monthly report coming out today, so look forward to that later on. But posted a ton of the buyings there as well. So if you want to get monthly reports, want to get regular updates in there, as well as do get the top 10 Crypto Night Show Index for PulseChain, as well as a lot of conversation strategy chats. Then get in there, folks. We're in there constantly. All right, so that is it on that one. Let's jump into some of the big things here. Lots of highlights, but of course, ETH tailwinds argue ETH BTC ratio to exceed 2021 high of 8.7%, pretty much. Ethereum 971, Ethereum 971 moment where Wall Street began building on the blockchain. Of course, he's likening this to the gold standard, getting off the gold standard, etc., like that. So where the banking system about to set up their online system. So I don't know. We got Swift. I don't know. Swift is pretty crap, but it did its job, I guess. We got the next one. There was a 971 US formerly left the gold standard. Gold benefited, but the big story was innovation around the synthetic dollar, as he calls it. Wall Street, the big winner. And so it was a cool little presentation there. Wall Street created new markets for synthetic USDC in the following 15 years. So this is his narrative around where Ethereum is at, etc. So let's flow on from there. Bitmine, of course. Where are we going? We're going to scroll down through some of this. You might actually do a separate video on that. Maybe we'll do a separate video on this. But what I want to get to is some of the we're going to do a separate video on this. So we'll probably do that later on. But you guys can read it. I posted the link in the video description there for that. Anyway, they have bought a ton of Ethereum right now, and I'm just trying to find that post actually. I think it's that one there. Let me jump all through all that. That was the update. You definitely should read that. It's a really good update. I'm not sure if it's showing up here actually. Not showing up there. I'm not sure why that's showing. But in any case, they have bought another 74,300 ETH, and that now puts them at 1.9 million Ether there, which is pretty fantastic, right? So you can see the purchases that they've had. Pretty fantastic. Now sitting on a massive amount, $8 billion worth of ETH right now. And you guys remember, these are long-term holders. They've got an MNAV of 1.08 at the moment based on this data. Onwards and upwards at 31% of target. So still a long way to go to get that 5 million. But the cheaper they can get it, the better. But ETH's probably getting scarcer and scarcer. The prices are getting ready to go parabolic. So there we go. 5,500 is kind of the next target, right? 5,500. Let's see where we get on there. Now, the next big one we had, of course, was Yunfeng. Hopefully I said that right. Yunfeng Financial. And this is a new entrant, guys. New entrant, straight into a strong position here. And if that is at number 27 with 10,000 Ethereum. So there we go. Yunfeng is right there. And guess who's this? Guess who this? Have you seen this guy before? Jack Ma, Alibaba co-founder. I thought he had been working as a teacher out in the provinces after saying something about the CCP. CCP there. Hong Kong listed Yunfeng Financial, affiliated with Alibaba co-founder Jack Ma, has purchased 10,000 ETH, 44 million there. So that is a new entrant, guys, and game is on, right? game is on. Game is on. Not even US player. It is on. And of course, you might have seen Eric Trump there over in, I think he was in Hong Kong yesterday, was it? Yesterday or the day before, doing a conference presentation and talking about how excited about Bitcoin he is as well. So there we go. That is a new entrance. So it's game on, guys. We're just warmed up. It's just the opening session. It is getting pretty huge. Now, total ETH now, controlled by the SER entities, is 4.71 million ETH with 20.36 billion. There are 71 participants now with a percentage of the supply 3.9% of all Ethereum. Remember how much Ethereum there is? 120.7 million. In addition to all this Ether supply is, of course, all the stakers. Well, maybe not in addition. There's probably a lot of inclusion here, but is about 35% or so of ETH is actually staked in the proof of stake validators like Lido and others. And so that's a pretty big number. So there we go. Game on. So that is awesome, mate. Awesome. Everything's going up and away. So onwards and upwards. And we should see more and more purchases every single week, all leading into the end of the year. It really is game on here. All right, so that is pretty cool news. And that's going to lead us into PulseChain, I guess. Getting us some PulseChain. We're coming up to the monster thread. We're in the monster thread, so that should be pretty fun. If you guys haven't already, go repost the show around. I think Frank White's already done it. So, yeah, smash that out there. We get building up a nice little crowd watching right now, so definitely smash it out. I really do appreciate that. And once again, special thanks to Frank White for the repost. And much goodness there. We've got some more comments in the chat. So we've got Crispy in house, 5555 Supermans. Good to see you, Crispy. Big shout out. Yes, 5555 indeed. Max Hex Steak. We got Sean O'Malley, Morning Champions. Good to see you, Sean. Big shout out. We got DJ Hexagon as well, 5555. Loving it. Sean says we are not bullish enough there. We're not bullish enough. And we got Hexcrater in house as well. Hey gang, good to see Hexcrater. Hope you're doing well there in the United States, building the infrastructure for tomorrow's kids. That's Hexcrater. Big shout out there. Should be a big beneficiary of the golden age of America. They're going to be building. All right, let's get into PulseChain. We've got Richard Hart out again, constantly posting. This is his latest post. PulseChain is so vastly superior to Ethereum's layer 2. Layer 2s, it's insane, but people are too stupid to listen. That's true, too stupid to listen. Look at Starknet. Down for hours, dropping transactions, had it down, pitiful. I remember when one of their dumbass advisors told me that PulseChain would be unreliable. Typical criticisms. Where are those guys? They're either bust or in prison. Most of those guys, right? They're either bust or in prison. I was right. They were wrong, and their chain is down. So this is Starknet there, and we can see a little comment down the bottom that Richard's highlighted. Starknet had a down for a few hours. There was a reorg that dropped transactions between the blocks, the following blocks. So yeah, and then Richard had to follow up there saying, pretty sure a reorg that dropped transactions means that if you thought you got paid, you didn't. I hope you weren't in those 1,266 blocks that disappeared. I'm not going to bother to look up how deep it occurred. It's dropped transactions, how they're saying their blockchain data. Oh, sorry. Is dropped transactions how they're saying their blockchain lost data, or am I missing something there? So there we go. That is some comments here from Richard. So yeah, PulseChain, Pulse Gains on the move, and that is from Richard Hart. That's the latest and greatest. And of course, he did a good one yesterday, didn't he? This one here about the writing devices that's going out. Probably going to hit. I'm guessing it takes just a couple of days to go through the mail system. They're going to be delivered, which is probably happening, yesterday, today, sort of thing. I don't know how many van deliveries it takes to deliver 400,000 devices, but there are quite a few boxes there. So maybe it's a couple of transports, and then maybe we'll see some of these start landing in the weekend ahead. Maybe it's kind of that flow. So we could have a whole ton of people saying, "Hey, look, I got one of these devices," and that pop up this weekend potentially. So we'll keep a lookout for that. What mail list are they using as well? That's another question. Some people have talked about leaked data on hard devices. I think that's hard wallet devices, but we're going to see. Presumably, they're targeting middle upper class. People with a bit of money and a bit of keenness and investments. We'll see. I don't know what the database is, but they did a whole ton of labels, so we're going to find out, guys. I guess we know it's in a certain state, but they're sending it to the mail delivery, so it could be all over the place. And I think Richard was talking about, it may cost about $15. So what was that comment about that? It's funny how people talk about stuff being a couple bucks, then forget it's $15 shipping or something. So there we go. There's money to transport, probably more expensive than the device. The device may have cost it's $2 or something, but the transport and delivery costs most of the money there. So no dropping. It's not drop shipping from Richard. It's not drop shipping. Not profitable. Not profitable. So there we go. All right. So jokes aside, let's get into PLS Start Me. And of course, this is Frank White. Frank White's in the chat today. And of course, he was first in today. And of course, this is his website. A big shout for that. It covers, of course, the PulseChain ecosystem. So if you're wanting a good, let me get out of there. It was a bit too tricky. If you're wanting a good sort of ecosystem map of PulseChain, then you can find all the links here, right? Look at these. And it's got a lot of categories. It can be tricky putting projects in the categories because we got some that are like ecosystems. They got multiple categories in them. But he's done a pretty good job here. So check that out. Even got Spotlight on the right there. Look at that Spotlight there showing there. So check it out. That's a good ecosystem map. Let him know if there's stuff that is missing at all or new projects. I'm sure he'll add those for you. Let me type that in there. PulseChain ecosystem map, let's call it. Let's pull it that. Bam. All right. That is PLS Start. There we go. Bam, 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 bam. All right. That is it. Should we get a little musical thing for that? And congratulations, Frank. Keep up the great work there. Sub-Zero's in house. Heart with Dog, low key, one of the best websites on PulseChain. Crazy animation, great layout, how to buy section, and even character liars. Yeah. Hey, look, we did a shout out earlier in the live stream for that Sub-Zero, so good timing there, good timing. But yes, Heart with Dog. I think Heart with Dog's on the site too, isn't it? That must be on the site. What would they be under? I'm just quickly looking. What would they be under here? I don't know if they've got. They don't have an anime section. I need an anime section, guys. They're probably here somewhere, but you don't see it straight off the bat here. But a Heart with Dog is there. So there we go. Have a check it out. You can check with the web. It's the web there. All right. So that is bam. Let's get into the markets though. We've got what day is it? This day number 845. For those that are new to PulseChain, PulseChain is a full system state copy of Ethereum. So in other words, all the contracts, all the tokens that were on, all the projects that were on Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023 were copied over as a basis for launching PulseChain only a few days later on the 30th of May 2023. So only 3 days later, and PulseChain was launched. Everyone that had assets on the 10th of May 2023 got them copied over to PulseChain. And so therefore it was people were calling it the biggest airdrop in crypto. And so that has played out. And then since the 30th of May 2023, price discovery has happened, right? What are these actually worth? If they're worth a certain amount on Ethereum, what are they worth over on PulseChain? Now, since that time, over the last 845 days, we've had a whole ton of new projects launch on PulseChain that are not on Ethereum, and they're very much boutique to PulseChain, and that's really been thriving. And earlier this year, we had, about 7 months ago, we had Pump Tires launch, and that enables people to launch a whole ton of tokens really quickly. And if they get bonded, what they call bonded, they get to come over to PulseChain and operate straight away with liquidity pools. So it's kind of the way of capital raising it and getting it funded and pushed over for the ones that win, the king of the hill, as they say on Pump Tires. So that's kind of the basis there. We got PulseChain at the moment. The main fee coin is currently quadruple 0393. There's Pulse is a bit like Ethereum. So it's just what you use for fees, and it's down 2.16% at the moment. Now, we had a sacrifice program for PulseChain launch where people put in money and with no expectations, and suddenly they got airdrops in Pulse, and that is currently sitting at 39% of that price. PulseX, of course, is the DEX on here, and it's the decentralized exchange where people can swap. It is the biggest exchange on PulseChain. PulseChain, of course, is the blockchain token there, and it is currently at quadruple 0291, and it's down 2% today. And it also had a sacrifice as well, a separate one, and that is at 29% of its average mean sacrifice price there. Total buy and burn, PulseX is pretty cool. Pulse has a little bit of inflation. It's got the same, protocol running it as Ethereum does, which is EIP 1559, and it has a block reward and then fee burning in there as well. So we've got the same thing on PulseChain, but so Pulse is slightly inflationary, generally speaking. with some, I guess, some deflationary periods. But PulseX is completely deflationary. So there's only a fixed supply, and it's being bought up and burned constantly. And it's now 7.7% of the public supply is now being bought up and burned. And of course, that excludes what we call the OA accounts, which is a bit like the central banker. You can decide, but it controls well in excess of 90% of the coins, maybe even much higher than that. So we've got incentive token at the moment, $1.49 is down 2.5%. We got that is the secondary reward tokens that was used for farming on PulseX, and that is at $1.49. Those yields are pretty low now, so most of the inflation is out, and there's hardly any tokens coming out each year, about 2,600 by my count. Hex at the moment is at 8,600 a penny. It is down 2.7%, and it was pretty much, that's the new one on PulseChain, what we call Hex or PHEX there on PulseChain. EHEX, which is the original Hex, and of course one of the top 5 performers in the 2021 bull market, that is currently at 1,600 of a penny. So that is on Ethereum, and that's still relatively cheap. Combined price of EHEX and PX is at 1.02 cents, so just over 1 cent right now. So it is quite the bargain. Now, the interesting thing about EHEX, guys, is that EHEX, I don't know where that went, but EHEX at the moment is BankX has only got 53 million coins left. So for those that are aware, BankX ran a program for so-called stablecoin setup. It was a new sort of hybrid mixture of stablecoin protocols. And it was pretty dodgy to start off with at the least, and had a pretty failed launch over, I think, on BSC chain from here rightly. But unfortunately, one of the big whales on PulseChain called the God Whale sent 800 million coins, and I think in for the launch, and of course hadn't seen the rest of the dismal failure, and so it ended up being a big mistake. So 800 million coins went to BankX, and then BankX has been dumping them month after month after month. Thank goodness. It's probably a good thing, guys, because once he's out, he's out. So it looks like he's got 53 million coins, and based on the last update I saw, I think yesterday. So it's getting there, which means that maybe EHEX will bounce from the range at the bottom of the range versus Pulse, Hex on Pulse. And of course, they're currently at the bottom at the moment. So keep a lookout for that. Could be an opportunity coming up in the future, as we've seen in the past. So yeah, and we'll be maybe set free to some degree. Now, there are other large holders. Obviously, recently we also saw we've seen obviously a lot of the Hex get staked on both chains, and by the OA accounts, and so there is only a small amount. Was about 44 billion out there, but a lot of that's stuck in other protocols, third-party protocols. So there can't be, relatively speaking, too much Hex around. So there we go. That's one way of looking at it. If you want to find out more, definitely check out Crispy Man. He goes the next level with the old Hex stuff there. All right. So who else we got? We got Bookie's in the house there. The world's worst mod is the pool, of course. That's Wookie. He's one of our mods, but he's always away at the pool or something while the live stream's on. That's fine. You got to live your life. You got to live your life. Spice up your life, says the Spice Girls. Spice up your life. We got PulseChain devs are amazing. We definitely are not bullish enough, says Net Crypto Sense. That is true. That's true. Good big shout to Bree Tep and the team. Let's go to the gas prices. We're currently sitting at 500,000 beats, so pretty cheap on PulseChain, 0.7 of a penny. Very different from what we saw the last 2 days. Velos, let's go to the Velos there. 52,385, pretty much the same what we had yesterday. In the PulseChain, the bridge, 160.6 million, pretty much the same as yesterday. So not really any change on the bridge there. There we go. That was pretty much it. That gets us to the total market. Let's have a quick look at that. We're going up to the monster thread, of course. $21.3 million in volume right now. We've got 278,700 transactions. And here is the top list. Now, I'm not endorsing any of these as usual. I thought I'd start saying that. I've only started saying it the last week. Have you noticed? Or 2 weeks? Because I was getting people saying, what were they saying? I'm trying to remember what they're saying. Well, I get people saying, I can't remember what other people were saying, but for some reason why I started saying it. Anyway, we'll get to it. Now, also, someone else made a comment saying, why don't you cover this or don't cover that? And it's just like, well, I think I'm pretty much the only influencer that's covering all these tickers every day. So there we go. And I'm only one of the 2 large channels on PulseChain that are streaming every day. The other one being Crypto Paradise, which has come on the last 6 weeks or so. So just take into account that I do cover probably 50 to 100 coins a day on this live show. So if people that are saying out there, I don't cover this, don't cover that. Well, I'm covering this every day just about. I don't always do the full 100, but sometimes I do 50. Sometimes I do 80, sometimes I do 100. Just depends on what we've got on. So just take note of that. So I'm doing my best. Out there. All right. So we've got Bella at the moment. It's been around for 21 days. Be pump tires, no doubt, up 83%. We've got Rome been around for 5 hours, only been 5 hours. And that is 61%, probably pump tires as well. Generally, a lot of the coins we are seeing these days are pump tires, but occasionally we'll see non-pump tire coins being launched by token creators or project teams and things like that. So it just depends on what's going on. Pulse Guy there is up 20. It's been around for 28 days, up 52%. So we have got a couple of little decent little gainers at the moment on there in the short term. We've got 2 more weeks, which has been around for only 2 days. That's still holding up pretty well, 39% there. We got Peacock, of course, one of the meme coin battles. We did a video yesterday on meme coin battles, and I'm going to do a second part to that. People asking me about covering potential burning for some of the meme coins. I think that's it's very important for individual, but I might actually deep dive more into the holders. I think that's probably more interesting, going to holders and stuff like that. So we might do that. And I won't necessarily pick out all 15 that we covered yesterday, but we'll look at some of the bigger ones, probably, maybe potentially some of those. So we'll see how we go. Otherwise, the show could end up being 3 hours or something. So yesterday was like 2 hours. It was supposed to be an hour and 15. So there we go. We got Peacock at the moment for Liberty Swap, up 20%. So making a nice little comeback there. We got, let's have a look where Peacock is at right now. And the battle of the memes is going to be pretty severe, I suggest to you. But at the moment, they've got a 4 million market cap. So we'll see how that goes. They're sort of bottomed out right now, but definitely bounced a little bit from yesterday. Keep a look out for that. It's a Liberty Swap. What else? We got Zero Trust, been around for 10 days, up 18%. We got Swarm, been around for 4 days, up 18%. We got DevC, been up 7.7%. Been around for 17 days, up 7.7% today. So we only have 7 coins in the leaderboard list here for the last 24 hours. That's over 10% on the leaderboard here as the default view. Looking at Unity, look at Unity, guys. $22.06 OMG, up 5.7%. Now we are expecting this to keep going up, right? We're expecting to go up, and when we do think it's going to start correcting? Well, we've already got this in our table. We're expecting it to start correcting. Look at this price, isn't that glorious? So pretty cool. And we're expecting it to continue to run up. And it's continuing to keep going. Now, people, there is only, last time I checked, there's only about 2,000 liquid coins. So, people could hold us a little bit, but generally there's still net buying pressure. So should still see this to slowly creep up. That being said, the first day of supply coming on is the 10th of September. And what was it, about 1,100 or so, 1,100 tokens? That definitely will correct the chart. So we'll see a first correction there, unless someone comes in stakes, which is, I think, unlikely. So that is where we are right now. Unity is crushing it, and we're at an all-time high there in the ratio, 760,000. We're just going to round it, 760,000 PulseX per 1 Unity right now. But we do expect a correction on the state there. So it's got a few days to keep going. How many of the existing sellers will sell? We'll see. We'll see how that goes by that time. But that is where we are right now on the old Unity. So crushing it, as they say. What else? We've got GoPulse right now, just below 10 cents. It's been like between, I guess, 9 and 12 cents. It's kind of on the bottom range there. The old GoPulse, that's up 5% today. Let's have a quick look at that. And that is the chart right there. So you're on the bottom of the range there, isn't it? On the old USD there. So look at the PulseX ratio. And of course, that's typically what you should do. Yeah, it's come off the bottom there. Look at that. It was down at 1,700. Now 2,400 Pulse pour one go there. Bit of controversy around, of course, the swapping and some pretty bad trades for some large players on that. So that is the big criticism. Apart from that, it's been a pretty good information site. Most Wanted, we covered this yesterday too, up 5%, 2.3 cents. So we got a couple of the meme coins we covered, Peacock and Most there on the battleground. Vouch been around for 18 days, up 3.8%. SolidX is actually on a bit of a discount from yesterday. Yesterday, the price was a lot better, up 2.6% now. A bit of volatility around this range. And of course, as you guys know, this is one of the 3 big projects we're expecting to launch in September, which is SolidX/X Game. And of course, we're expecting that maybe mid-September to the second half of September launch. That's from Firewall. We're expecting, maybe 12th to mid, maybe similar time. Actually, might be a bit of crossover, but maybe slightly earlier range to launch is Rackham Sheldon's Coinwell and Coinaki. and we covered a bit of the battleground for Koinaki yesterday. We're excited about that, and potentially a personal contribution, a pretty big range between 1 and 10 million. That might be a phased-in personal commitment, but certainly starting off, I think, with about $1 million. I think we can say that, and they look like might have 4 to 8 different pools set up for that to kick it off, and it's going to be multi-chain. I suspect we will probably see somewhere like 3 to 5 chains for Coinwell. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Kick it off and then more added. I think he's talked about 400 or something chains, so we'll see. But we're definitely getting some good chains here. Currently $8.96 right now, so good little pickup there for that. PulseChain, the farm, that last farm that launched, and we are expecting some more farms to launch, but that is currently at 6 zeros 1300. Let's have a quick look at PulseChain. That is the chart right now, so still in price discovery mode, really. And so, yeah, that's where it is right now. But, yeah, it's ticking away. I'm not sure what the TVL is. Should we look at TVL of PulseChain? Let's have a look at that. Let's have a quick look. I've got to keep a tab of the time here, 15 minutes. Yeah, we've got to keep a tab of time here. But that is earn, farm, and elevate your portfolio. I just thought that might have the TVL on here. Maybe go to the farm. It's got the farm value. Is it going to show up? I think it might. Hope there's a TVL. Always do like it if you're a farm out there and you've got a TVL on there. It's very useful. Have a sort of a sum TVL. Also, if you have got a TVL up there, get onto DeFi Lime and so forth. Get on that. Oh, it's not showing up here right now. So unfortunately, I'm not rendering fast enough here for some reason. Distributed loading. Oh well. I tried. You can't say I didn't try there. But we're out on live stream, so we're gonna keep it moving. Your mum right now up 2%. Number 18. Been around for 3 months. And Sparta, after Sparta's big move yesterday, it is still up 2%. So Sparta had a big move yesterday. They've got a new coin coming to town, right? New coin. I'm not sure when exactly it launches. If anyone knows, let me know in the chat. But that is the chart there. Got hyper pumped yesterday with a massive $98,000 of pumping, and is still up today at 8.4 cents, holding up. Pretty cool. So I guess their new token hasn't launched yet. So that is the old Sparta, a big hex DAO, right? Big hex DAO, but the new token launching. So that's kind of cool. What else are we going to say about that DAO token? 6 months around, it's been up for 2% as well. So yeah, we haven't got too many big movers, have we? We've got lots that are up slightly, just 1% or so, along with Richard Hart core coins. That's kind of where we are now. So I'm going to leave it there. That is our market coverage. We've got how many coins? 46 coins are in the green out of the 100 here, and the rest of them are slightly out of the money, or maybe a lot out of the money. And you can decide how much. New Joe coin there is out 55%. So poor little Joe coin there out at the moment. So meme's a tough land to be. In the old meme coins. But we're looking forward to big things coming in the future. All right, let's get to the main event, shall we? Are we going to get to the main event? Let's do it. Let's go to the main event. All right, let's go to the chat there. I'm doing my own counter voiceovers. It's a collab show with me impersonating somebody else. All right, let's see. We got Frank White says, thanks for the continuous coverage. Says Frank, you're most welcome. Big shout out there. Once again, let's go back up here. If you haven't checked out the ecosystem, that is it there for PulseChain, and it's all in one place. Now, we've got a good bunch of people watching right now, so if you haven't smashed the follow button on X, smash it right now. If you're on YouTube, smash the subscribe button. We are streaming on 3 YouTube channels and on X as well, so it's 4 different channels, and daily shows, 8 p.m. Eastern. I do have a special guest tomorrow. And that is I've got let me see, I've got the dude on tomorrow, and we're becoming a new project launching on PulseChain as well, and that could be pretty big. It's so we're going to hear from I think it's JNS Towers. JNS Towers says, I think it's Janus Towers, a new project. Obviously Janus is already out, but there's going to be, I guess, a second level, a second evolution or something, a new protocol there. So looking forward to that. So that is scheduled for tomorrow. So fingers crossed, all goes well. That will be a live stream tomorrow. So special guest, woohoo, bring it on. And the dude is one of the best. He's out there. He's a great, fantastic. So look forward to that. You're going to get some alpha drops from him, and it's on PulseChain, guys. So pretty cool. So that is coming. That's tomorrow. What else? Well, let's go into the monster thread. Okay, so as you guys know, the Crypto Night Show does publications and promotions on PulseChain because it's desperately needed. Yeah, it's very tough out there. Now, I do see a few people out there that make comments about, we don't have professional promotions, we don't do all this stuff. That's not how the world works, guys. And secondly, PulseChain needs it, right? So it needs it a lot. So at the moment, though we have a very large and dedicated PulseChain community, it's actually pretty much sleeping right now. I'm sad to say. We do the market research covering all of PulseChain, and I can tell you we're still on the sleeper. Still on the sleeper. We have some good people out there doing some good stuff. We have a lot of impact players doing impact players, but we have very little consistent promotion of PulseChain out there. It's more just the humming effect from people liking projects and stuff like that. So it's deeply needed. And as you guys know, Richard Hart is about to kick off his side of the promotions, the big stuff, hitting the physical reality of the world. But there's also the digital online stuff, which is what we do, right? What we do. So it's very important, that we get more and more people. Some of the people that we've been seeing doing, some pretty decent stuff out there. People like, they do their own thing. So I'm not saying we can like it or not, whatever their content, but we have actually some people out there doing different things. We have people doing analytical work out there. We've got at least 3 or 4 posters do analytical work, which is great. That we need more of that. We're probably doing some of that stuff coming from the Kryptonite so soon. We have people doing, shills, like shill gates out there. That's good. Then people need that sort of service out there. We have people doing lots of excitement sort of posts, like dirty crypto out there. We've got lots of people doing stuff, and this is important. They do their thing, they're in their lane, they do their stuff, but it's all generally promoting PulseChain. We have obviously all the influencers that come on. We have people do stream once a week, and they do good shows. That's important. We need that. We've got people that are doing constant flows through the day, like Somi. We need that, right? We need that, and they've got their different things that they do, entertainment, information, that sort of stuff. So we've got people out there doing, but we're still, out of 150, 200 influencers, we've still only got a very few really doing a lot of content. Now, recently, I would say over the last 2 months, we've seen a few more of them come back to start doing a little bit more content, but still not a lot. So we have had some big names come back, but they're only still doing relatively little amounts. Maybe they'll start ramping up as we get green candles, and that's kind of exciting, but that's kind of the play right now. We have a lot of people in the community starting to sort of step up. It's early signs of that, so it's kind of cool. I can think of a few people like Fat Sammy out there that's starting to really ramp up the stuff, so big shout out to Fat Sammy for that. I think you're going to see a lot more from him, so he's getting on social media and stuff like that. That's what we really need. So yeah, we're still early, guys. We've still got a lot of the community is relatively asleep. Now, as we get green candles, we know they're all going to start waking up a bit more. We get a bit more active, but it is still pretty low. Now, on the other hand, of course, we have big projects, we have medium projects, we have small projects, right? So the big projects obviously get a lot of natural coverage from the big influencers, from their own large audiences, stuff like that. But the medium projects, the small projects, they don't get much, guys. They do not get much. And so they need a lot of help with that. And that's where the Kryptonite Show comes in. So we come in and we help a lot of the small, medium, and sometimes large projects get a lot more promotion. And here's the key. On a consistent basis. Has to be consistent. If you're going to get brand awareness, has to be consistent. If you're going to get people engaging, has to be consistent promotion. You don't get it from just one-offs 1 week. You guys know it. If you saw something 3 weeks ago, how much do you remember, guys? How much do you remember? Not much, right? Not much. Right? Unless you're really like an ultra passionate about it, you don't really remember. But if you see it every single week, bam, 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 every week, you see it, you're thinking, actually, what comes to top of mind? Well, you're going to be naming the ones that you see all the time, right? You're seeing all the time. So that's a very important part there. So I just wanted to dispel some of those myths out there. I see people saying, oh, we don't do that in PulseChain. We don't need that in PulseChain. Unfortunately, we do need it. And this is part of the real world. That's what the real world has, right? Has marketing promotions. Just an important part. What's Richard doing right now? He's not just sitting around going, they're going to come. The people will come. We built it. No, he's out there spending millions of dollars on getting people to come onto PulseChain. All right. So that's the reality. So you do see I see some comments out there and I was going, no, that's not how it works, guys. And it's just unfortunate. I know they mean well when they say things like that, but it's just not reality. So you can ask any project team that launches, they're trying to get an audience, trying to get people in. They could have the greatest tokenomics on the planet. And if no one sees it, it doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't do anything. So it's very important that people, really get out there and help. Now, everyone can play their role. Everyone can start being an influencer. Everyone can start being a community influencer. Everyone can start delivering pamphlets in their local area. There's a role for everybody, right? That's out there. So, but at the moment, really is a lot of requirements. So what do we do at the Crypto Night Show? So we sort of do a lot of market research around PulseChain, so we have a very accurate idea of what's going on. I'm not going to disclose a lot of that on here because it's just stuff that we use for insights to get a good content out to people. But I can tell you that's just a couple high-level little observations that's very important. Now, the other thing, of course, we're seeing, a lot of the ladies in PulseChain are doing an amazing job on PulseChain. And so I just want a special shout out to the PulseChain ladies out there. We're seeing them do a lot of content, and you'll see that often show up in the monster thread because they are doing a lot. So big shout out to the ladies. They are really just crushing it out there right now. And so, it's exciting times out there. Now, we're going to get into some of the publications. We're doing publications. Obviously, PulseChain is really the first PulseChain newsletter. It's a place where all the cool stuff that's happening across PulseChain online is showing up. So that's what we're doing. We're at week 17. And what was the key thing I said to you earlier? Consistency. You have to be consistent. It's no good being, 4 months ago, we did something. Hooray, and that was great, but no one remembers it today. It's pretty much it. So being consistent is really, really important. If somebody only sees something once, it's not good enough, right? Someone has to see something 5 times, 10 times before they actually respond to something, right? Because they're busy. They've got busy lives. They might be a soccer mom or whatever. That's just the way it goes. So consistency is really key. But they also need something that's simplified, right? They need something that's all in one place. So the publications from the Crypto Night Show are a big part of that. And of course, the PulseChain Monster Thread is a key part of that. It's a great way if you're a busy week, you've got stuff to do. You can't keep up with all the news online. You can just go to the Monster Thread and you can see all the news in the last week in the Monster Thread. So it's wonderful from that. So if you're in PulseChain, if you're in crypto, it's a perfect place for you to go to get all the latest, hottest stuff. And if you're looking to onboard new people, and you want new people to come on, and you want them to understand how PulseChain is, who's in PulseChain, what are we doing, then the Monster Thread is perfect for that because we cover all the DeFi, we cover all the action things that people and personalities are doing in PulseChain, including some of the hottest projects as well. So it's really a fantastic publication, and it's one of many that we will be doing moving forward, right? So it's very, very exciting. It's in week number 17, guys. So it's consistent. It's consistent. And this is something we talk to teams that are out there. Is the one thing you need to be consistent. Because we have some teams that do something good one week, but then they won't do anything for the next couple of weeks. And then they wonder why they're not getting traction. The reason why is because, I'm sorry to say, you have to do it consistently every week, right? You guys get the idea. So on this note, we're going to go through the Monster Thread. Now, the editor-in-chief is MVS of the Monster Thread, and he is our promotional lead at the Crypto Night Show, and he does a great job, and he's out and about all the time talking to project teams and helping people out, right? So it really is about getting all the synergy and getting that promotion out there, not only for the project teams, but for PulseChain overall, and that's the big thing. So it's very, very exciting. So let's get into it, folks. Without further ado, let's catch up with some of the hottest news over the last week there with the Monster Thread number 17. That's the 17th week in a row, guys, and it has climbed from something like 14,000 views all the way up to 48,000 views. So it's tracking very, very well. And look, we're in a bear market still for PulseChain. We're in that inflection point, right? We just came out of defeating the SEC on the 7th of July. And we know that probably take up to 3 months maybe before PulseChain really starts to fly. And that does tend to be paying out. We've got marketing coming up. So imagine what this is going to be like with the viewership and the readership as we enter in the bull market for PulseChain. It's going to be truly exciting, guys. Truly exciting. So let's get into it. We got Richard Hart's tablets, Captain's Hall, and Kerry arrives. So what does all that mean? Well, you got to read it to find out, right? You got to read it to find out there. All right, so let's scroll down here. We got Richard Hart's magic tablets. Richard Hart reveals free electronic devices, 400,000 LCD tablets ready to promote PulseChain and Hex. So we know things are starting to ramp up, right? And one thing you'll notice in the Monster Thread, that Richard Hart always leads the way. Richard Hart is the founder of PulseChain and PulseX and Ink Token and Hex. And this is a tribute to him, right? He's the founder and the leader. And so you'll often see, for the most part, I think maybe 90% of 100% of the Monster Threads start off with Richard Hart because it's a tribute to him. He's leading the pack there, and we're excited about where he's going to take PulseChain evolution, right? And it's going to be pretty awesome. Now, so getting hundreds of reactions from the community, and it's been super, super popular. People are excited about it, and you've seen tons of LCD screens with everybody's little project inside it and things like that. We did it ourselves on this channel. put a little Superman in there as well. So it's pretty cool from that point of view. We also know, we looked at the other day, it's also seems to be a pretty popular seller in Amazon. And of course, Richard would have known that too. So there we go. That is pretty exciting now. Vans and warehouses, we obviously got people in the community, and I've got a big shout out to personalities in the community that step up all the time. We get people step up all the time. We got Hunter Bellu here. He had some vans, right, and he decided to deliver one of the vans for free, probably looks at it, and to help pick up the electronic devices from the warehouse and transport them to the mail service. So this is the sort of stuff we got in the community, and this is what I like about the Monster Thread, is that it really celebrates the people on the PulseChain, right? So that's what it's like. We're all, that's how things work, right? And of course, we got other people there that are pretty excited about. We've had Trevor there. We've had Whale Pulse give a sneak peek, of course, of the warehouse. And of course, we had that from Griffin, right? They give a sneak peek of the warehouse there, which is pretty cool. I think we might actually have a little picture of this here. So let me have a quick look. There it is. That's the sneak peek there of the warehouse. We've got all the boxes there and so forth. We've got little smiley faces, but pretty fun there. And so much fun that even Somi himself did a little P-dye mapping of the image there, which I thought was pretty funny. So that is some of the cool stuff there that we're seeing in the Monster Thread. So you can click on all the links and you can actually go to all the stories that are there, which is pretty awesome. So what's the other thing in there? Not only do we have this awesome promotions and awesome help in terms of logistics from Griffins in the warehouse to doing the labels, and of course pick up vans to drop it off to the mail to get it mailed out, and we may very well see those hit the market probably maybe even this weekend from the mail service. So that could be pretty exciting. We've also got awesome stuff happening out there too. We've got PulseChain music, and I think this is kind of the first Monster Thread that we've actually had music. We've had artists, we've had horse riding champions, we've had people climbing mountains, we've had lots of stuff in the Monster Thread of people. But I think this is the first time we've had a lot of music. And so we've got Hot Pro, and I love this because it's a bit of a play on words, but Hot Pro, one of the big female influencers in PulseChain, aka Rock Pro. Rock Pro there. I love that. So surprises with musical saxophone performance. So you got to definitely check that out. And and we also inspired by Rock Pro, Reinvent Ideal then performed his own performance with the guitar of Paint It Black. So that was pretty exciting. You got to check that out as well. That is Rock Pool there on the right, and of course Crypto Claire's there, one of the big female influencers there as well on the left, who does a lot of the lady shows. So it was pretty awesome. You got to go check that out. So all the links are there for you to do that. We also have obviously people talking about more promotions, and I've just talked to you a bit of a rundown about that. Is that we do have people, like I say, starting to step up and starting to do even more. Now, Super Hexwin has been a very successful PulseChain influencer, and has now been really moving into TikTok in a big way. So we do have a lot of things on the move. So really things are starting to ramp up, aren't they? We got Super Hex there, hit 1 million TikTok views on PulseChain videos, bringing many people looking for how to buy and to win. Now, obviously, Super Hex Win has also inspired other influencers, I think, like Crypto Coffee, and I think Tam even, I think, is out there looking to start up TikToks and get TikToks going. So, it's a whole new platform. It's a very different format. Obviously, you guys know, very short form of videos and getting the excitement there of PulseChain. And it may have very well had an impact on the number of new accounts that we've seen opening up on PulseChain. So that's pretty cool. So get excited. People asking on TikTok, how do I get onto PulseChain? How do I buy? Very exciting. And 1 million views, pretty successful straight off the bat there. He's a pretty good social marketer there. Ben's Hex Report. I said to you, we've got a number of people. Not only do we have people stepping up to do more promotions of PulseChain in their own way, or whether it's TikTok or whether it's Richard Hart delivering stuff out, but we also have people doing analytical reports on PulseChain, which is also an important part, right? People want to get good information. Well, we've got Ben Sierra there, one of at least 3 I would call analyst influencers on PulseChain. He shares the Hex reports, and he provided part 3 and 8 in the last week. You can see part 1 and 2 in the week before, and he highlighted active 5555 staker addresses numbers are increasing, and we have seen a lot of that on the Hex bot, haven't we? Increasing on PulseChain and Ethereum. So there's a lot of life coming into the Hex here, leading in to our second cycle, right? So very excited there. You can check a lot of stuff out. Let's have a quick look at his link there. You can see some of the reports data there with the different charts that he has. So it's all pretty important, and people really like the stuff. He's had about 4,000 views on that so far. So pretty cool. Big shout out there to Ben Sierra there. We also got getting some coverage beyond PulseChain's community. instead of being sort of pushing out information, we've got people sort of pulling it in. And that is Tron Weekly covers PulseChain, and we should see more and more of this as we move forward, especially once we start getting all that promotions and charts going green. We had Cryptic Coffee, obviously one of the biggest PulseChain influencers, shared an article for Tron Weekly featuring PulseChain and Liberty Swap, new Solana bridge. And I've been super excited about the Solana bridge because we know that Liberty Swap's looking to open up 40 different blockchains, and what that means is it's opening up the liquidity, opening up the access for all the users on those chains to come to PulseChain if we give them good reasons to do that, right? So that is very, very exciting. So very exciting about that. So that is Tron Weekly, independent newsletter covering PulseChain about that story. So really, really cool. Kerry joins. Now we're getting. Have you noticed over the last couple of weeks we've had a lot of big influencers starting to come into PulseChain? These are really big followings. 150,000, 480,000. Xavier, for example, 48,000. These are entertainment influencers, typically. They are not typically crypto ones, and they're all coming into PulseChain, bringing in a whole new audience, and this is very exciting. So we've got all these tentacles going out and promotions, and it's really exciting, and we're onboarding new people. So Pulse Gains, of course, another one of the top female influencers who's only just started coming back again. We just did a video, I think, last week. Taylor B is her name as well, is come back and started streaming again, and has onboarded Kerry Kassam to PulseChain. So really awesome. She's a TV radio host and the superstar daughter of Casey Kassam there. And you can see a cool picture of both of them side to side, Taylor B on the left, and Kerry Kassam on the right there. So there we go. We're getting a lot of well-known people there on the move. So really, really exciting to see. And Crypto Paradise Retreat, right? Crypto Paradise Retreat. Now, I love this. Like I said, the other daily show on PulseChain is Crypto Paradise. These guys are amazing. I really, they just hit all the ticks. They got all the ticks. They really get out and do everything that you could possibly do. And a big shout out to the team. So we've got Crypto Hitman, Amaru, and of course Nate from that team. The three of them, they do the daily shows now. Typically, obviously, they're on the retreat in the last week. They do regular collabs. They do product launches, all sorts of stuff. And they've got a big DAO, one of the big DAO teams on PulseChain. They got the Surf token, of course. And they've just been on their big retreat to Tulum, I think you would say it, in Mexico. And they've got some really cool stuff there. So let's have a quick look at one of their links on here. And you can see they do lots of different calls here. They're living on the beach. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Isn't that cool? So there we go. That is at the retreat. And of course, if you're in the DAO, you get a chance of going down there, right? You get a chance of going down there and spending time with everybody else in the PulseChain community there in the DAO. So it's pretty cool perks in the old DAO there to get in. I think it's 200,000 surf to start getting in to those DAO levels, right? They've got different levels, but 200,000 is the entry. SolidX right now. SolidX, of course, on the move. We'll talk about this coming up. Fast Abdul congratulates SolidX for the SolidX X Game granted international game license. And I don't know how common the game license are, but they can't be too common in crypto. And here they are, international game license for SolidX and X Game is coming. And we know this is going to be big, and potentially mid-September, second half of September is the expected launch window there. So keep a lookout for that. Where do we get that launch window from? Well, we got it from the interview with Firewell and RH Max, which said that it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks. So that puts us in the window of mid to late September. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Could be absolutely game on. And of course, that's going to be potentially could be our first truly viral game. It's got a 30% referral on there. It's going to be multi-chain, in particular base chain, marketing budget, as we understand it, and staking's coming up for SolidX. Potentially a lot of perks in the SolidX staking as well, including a credit card, guys. I mean, come on, that's really next level. And also an international bank account as well. Come on, guys. I mean, it's really, there's some pretty mad perks. So we're getting some real blue chip stuff coming from the whales in September. Not only are we going to get Coinwell from Rack and Michelle, we're getting this high-end opportunity here with DeFi from Firewell. So, it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know if that's going to be straight out of the gate. It's probably going to be something to get added on in due course when staking starts. But, man, it's exciting where this is all going, guys. Then we've obviously got Coinwell and Rackham. Of course, the other big whale on PulseChain. Coinwell, of course, Rackham's been ramping that up for the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks leading into the launch, and that's expected maybe as early as the 12th. That would be based on another post he said, about 27 days, but certainly in the launch in September window, right? So keep a lookout for that. Coinwell announces and is preparing a personal capital contribution of 110 million. So we're moving into the sort of next phase. Think about it. We got the 7th of July. We got free from the SEC. Richard Hart defeated them. And now we've got the whales coming in September, launching their big products. And we've got promotions starting potentially this weekend. We've got people doing different stuff. The ladies on PulseChain are crushing it. It is really, really, really starting to ramp up here. So yeah, we're going to go through phases of real expansion. It's really exciting to see. Coinwell is going to be a blue chip offering, a corporate offering. So very professional option, and we do need those on PulseChain, right? It's all about growing and getting bigger there, attracting bigger investors. Now, I think this is real fun. We talk about people. There's a lot of people stuff on PulseChain, and one of the big things here is the captain's fishing madness. When I saw this picture, I said, this picture's got to be in the monster thread. We got Captain RG3 shares an incredible fishing haul in a post wishing the community a great weekend. However, not the fish, apparently. So there, the captain is fishing. And look at this picture. I love this picture. So big shout out to the captain. That is such a great picture. And captain going fishing, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? There, and he's obviously having a good time. So look at that. Pretty awesome haul as well. So there we go. That's from the captain. So big shout out for that. So, there's all sorts of stuff. If you're out there doing something cool and gets online, you could find yourself in the monster thread. We've had people doing mountain climbing, valley climbing, you name it. It's been on here and there. So if you're doing horse riding or archery, you've got to end up in here, right? So just take note. We will find you. That's pretty much. We'll find you. That's something like. We got Liberty heading up, of course, bringing 40 chains to the PulseChain. Just one of the big multi bridges coming. And look, it's all at the right time. Have you noticed? So it looks like there's a bit of a chess game going on with the old PulseChain, doesn't it? And Liberty Swap come out of nowhere and now. Bringing 40 chains. We've already got a number of chains in that are accessing all these big ones. Arbitrum Base, Solana now really is getting side. BSC chain, the PulseChain really is awesome, right? And of course, there's been an absolute wave of excitement about getting direct buying from those chains over to tokens on PulseChain. So every team out there has been furiously running away trying to get access to that, and they have been getting added one after another. We also see that it's adding a lot of capital flow on the PulseChain. So based on another analytical report by Dev Juyang here, the Hexagon, he did a nice report on that, and he showcased that there's $16 million. Look at this work here that he's done. $16 million here come over to PulseChain based on his work, right? So pretty exciting. By my calculations correct, they helped bridge a total of 16 million of potential US dollar buy pressure from various chains. So we talked about opening up 40 chains of liquidity, and now we're seeing some of that flow in, $16 million already, which is pretty exciting, right? So very, very cool coming from this team. It is really starting to wrap up, guys. So you just got to, keep a DCA, keep accumulating for the win, because the things are happening. Now, the other thing we talked about, of course, we showcased the fact that we got picked up by the Tron Weekly up here article to showcase PulseChain, but we've also obviously getting other coverage with WebX. So all these crypto conferences and blockchain conferences. Well, we actually had Liquid Loans and Crypto Crazy attended the WebX 2025 conference. So that was really cool to see that. And recently, of course, we also showcased, I think, KG from Internet Money getting showcased on the ChangeNow X space along with centralized exchanges like KuCoin. So, we're getting a lot of people out there working on behalf of PulseChain doing some pretty cool stuff. So big shout out to those guys. The other big thing is that like last Monster Thread, Monster 16, we saw Thailand, right? Thailand with the old PulseChain cafe. I think it's fantastic what they've done there. This week, of course, we got Xavier reaching out to a lot of influencers over in South Africa with hundreds of thousands and millions of followers. Now, they're all entertainers, right? So entertainers on X, they do a lot of memes and stuff like that. Cool little funny videos. But they've been reaching out to the Africa audience and just slowly onboarding some of them. So that's been pretty cool. So Xavier there makes PulseChain trend in South Africa with Black Twitter. And of course, that was a new token that launched promoting the ecosystem to new audiences, getting attraction from South African influencers. So it's pretty cool. And of course, Real Xavier there doing a great job. And he is a very large entertainer on X with 478,000 followers. And he's posting constantly every day. So kind of cool to see that. The other big thing I said to you, one of the big things of the Monster Thread, and it's not just been this week, but many weeks, has been the number of female influencers absolutely crushing it on PulseChain. And look at this. We've had Hodpril here with Crypto Class. I mean, look at that, doing some cool stuff. We had Taylor B coming back, and of course onboarding Kerry Cassim, which has been really cool. So I said to you, I kid you not, the females are really doing an amazing job on PulseChain. So big thank you to them. Keep up the great work. But we also recently saw Claz here give props to our Wild SJ. And as you guys know, Wild SJ has been very consistent over many years, promoting Hex, PulseChain, Richard Hart's Sci-Vive books, a guide to life in crypto. And of course, doing that with an audiobook series, which has been amazing. And we got some really, really cool stuff there. She's organized something like 50 events, is it? Yeah, since 2021. And we got some really cool picture montage there from a Wildest Day. So big shout out to Wildest Day there. And of course, what do they call her? As you guys know, the Positivity Princess. That's it. So she's been doing amazing. And we did manage to interview her for the first time on this show a couple months back. So go check that out as well. Hey, look, we haven't finished with the ladies of PulseChain. We've got the Hexkin girl promo. Sydney Hexkin and good old Sydney leads PulseChain advertisement on display and computer. So, there's many ways of contributing to PulseChain. Obviously, word of mouth is one of the big ones, but you can do fun, silly things as well and get promoting PulseChain, right? You can leave stickers on places. But Sydney Hexkin there did a pretty fun little thing there. PulseChain advertisement on display computer. And of course, many of you probably had the idea of doing this. And maybe some of you have done it, but left the old PulseChain website here on a Apple computer in one of the stores here. Looks like maybe Harvey Norman, was it HD5 or something like that? But that is the store, and left a little picture there. So maybe that's what you could do as well when you're in an electronic store coming up there. So that was from Sydney Hexkin Girl. So big shout out to her for that. Kind of cool. I think we got a picture there, have we? Yeah, there's a picture of her there. So kind of cool. This is what I mean. We've got a lot of cool stuff. Now, we do have some honorable mentions in the monster thread. We've got Tam Tam. Now, as you guys know, Tam Tam, I think last week started a Hex University in X Space. It's been very popular. And Tam Tam's really been ramping up a lot of content. Like I said, the ladies of PulseChain, man, they are doing incredible stuff. So YRH made Hex, PulseX, and Inc. That was one of the latest ones that she's done, along with collaboration with RG3 and other people there. Kind of cool. We also have Execute. Now, I don't know if many of you guys, if you guys are into pump tires, Execute has been holding X spaces on pump tires every single day, just about every day. Yeah, it's got daily pump tire spaces, doing great stuff there. So if you're in the pump tire community, then definitely get into that. We also have, I told you about a number of analytical influencers on PulseChain. We talked about Ben Sierra. But we've also got CryptoSolve, and of course, CryptoSolve out there, PulseChain whale analysis. And of course, CryptoSolve have been doing a lot of cool stuff on that. Let's quickly look on that. You can see a lot of detail insights here into either scam coins or into analytical work. You can see there on the first there, PulseChain bridge update with some analytical work on that. So we got some pretty cool people out there doing some cool stuff. We also have Access Alive, another big PulseChain influencer, did the entire Hex price history. I think this was on the Hex week that we had with RH Max conference that ran for 5 days. And of course, Access Alive did a great job of that. So you definitely got to check that out. If you're new to Hex, that's a great way of getting up to speed with what's happening with the Hex chart. And then finally, we got DAC there, DAC9 or Dakin. They're doing a massive PLS marketing hit in LA. So they're doing that as well, coming up in LA. So it's Los Angeles there. Pretty cool. Finally, we have also Angelique there. We're Angelique, Hex Lotus, one of the female influencers as well, showing 50 reasons why people buy Hex. So you can go check that out as well. 50 reasons why people buy Hex. So as you can see, the monster thread, really some awesome stuff happening around marketing promotions. Richard Hart's on the move with the electronic devices. We got the female influencers crushing it on PulseChain and really doing some cool stuff. We got a lot of the guys doing a lot of cool analytical reports, getting on TikTok. We're getting some publications on Tron Week and things like that. It really is getting exciting. We've got Crypto Paradise crushing it. The other big, large channel doing daily shows. Huge KOLs is Crypto Hitman and the guys. SolidX and the whales on the move this September. Things are really starting to ramp up there, and we've got cool people fishing and hauling in the fish, as it were. And that's what we got to do out there in crypto, right? Hauling all the people there. So we've got lots of cool things happening. Not only does the PulseChain have the crypto news, but we have some of the hottest projects teams on PulseChain here as well. And of course, as you guys know, we have our own anime series on PulseChain. It's unbelievable that we are lucky to have an anime series on PulseChain. Isn't that crazy? It covers a lot of the community influencers, video influencers, celebrities, just all sorts of things, project teams. It is crazy. And of course, we're expecting to be well in excess of 100 chapters when all said and done. And here we are. Chapter 12 is our Eye of the Tiger. And of course, the the anime series is called Pulse of the Fallen. It follows the main character, which is Hog. That is a trading ticker as well. And you can see Hog in the picture there, Eye of the Tiger. And it is getting exciting, guys. So you definitely got to check that out. And you can see I really love some of this color that's coming into the Pulse of the Fallen anime series as well. It's very, very, very cool. Now, you got to watch this chapter. This chapter is crazy good on there, the 12th there. Pretty cool. So check it out. They also have a big competition going at the moment, $150. And have you guys noticed one of the big themes over the last 6 weeks has been the number of project teams, including Rack and Michelle and others, doing big giveaways? Have you noticed that? That's a big theme that started to happen over the last 6 weeks. So there's a lot more competitions and giveaways in the PulseChain community. So definitely got to check that out. It is pretty awesome. So that's one of the big teams on PulseChain. We also had Rhinify. So we've got a lot of cool teams launching really innovative tokenomics. Rhinify has a kind of a treasury or DAO that is fills up with reflection tokens and Ngos and spends 50% of it buying up the protocol every month, every set of 28 days. And these guys have been crushing it. It is really, really good. I'm excited where this team's going. They've been racking up their promotions as well, getting on YouTube shows and things like that. And they've also got giveaways, right? Look, more giveaways. So this is a really cool theme I'm seeing, and it's really, really exciting. We also saw Rackham talk about that. Hey, guys, get out there, start doing giveaways. Let's get things on the move. And the teams have responded. Look at that. We got, Hog out there doing giveaways. We've got Rhinify giving giveaways. It really is exciting. So you got to definitely get out there. And the videos are next level. The artwork coming from Anime, Hog, and from Rhinify is next level. Look at this stuff, guys. It is really, really cool. So definitely looking for that. We also have teams experimenting with stable coins and with yield farms. And of course, we've got Radon out there doing a pretty crazy job. Big shout out to Crypto Bro doing really good stuff. Look at that artwork, man. I mean, we're in good homes here. And Radon there giving high yields on the Nexium farm. So how many farms we have on PulseChain? Maybe about probably 7 or 8 good farms on PulseChain. And Nexium is right up there. They are really pushing the boundary, and they're about to drop a whole ton of new high-level yield leverage farms as well. So yeah, not only are we going to have perpetual trading, we're going to have up to 10x on these farms. So keep a look out for that. That's next dropping. But Radon at the moment offering PDI, doing something a little different too with an anchored powered assets. So this is going to be interesting with the PDI stable and offering some pretty good yields with the PDI peers on the old Nexium. So you got to check that out. And the artwork's pretty awesome as well. Look at that. Pretty awesome there. And then, of course, we've got Crypto Paradise, which we talk about a lot because this team is really a good example of how to do things to grow on PulseChain. And these guys are professional. They've come from a multi-chain environment, investment environment, and now they're really backing PulseChain for the win. They see Richard Hart's vision, and they are onto it. And these guys know how to do it. So, yeah, they just had their Paradise retreat in good old Tulum, Mexico. And it's game on. They're recharged there, and they're looking to really bolster the surf and the DAO that they operate. And of course, they have lots of launches and the giveaways, things like that. So keep a look out for that. The surf token on the move, 200,000 surf token to get in the DAO right now. So really good entry right now, by the way. They're about to unleash a massive marketing promotions campaign. So keep a look out for that from these guys. The Crypto Paradise guys really walking the talk. There's a lot of people talk out there, but these guys are walking the talk. So awesome stuff. Great to see it. Look at that. Living the dream there. Love these guys. Keeping the great work there. Obviously, on the Crypto Night Show, we do daily shows, 8 p.m. Eastern, along with Crypto Paradise. We're the 2 big channels that do daily shows. And so we hope you enjoy the format. We all have different formats. We always covered, I guess, different angles of things, as you guys know. But it's something for everybody, right? Something for everybody. Now, a new feature that we got in the Monster Thread this week is Community Spotlight. Yeah, boy. And we might see more of these in the future. Keep a lookout for that. But we got a focus on some of the people in the community that do AI and memes. And these are some people that are really making an impact. We've got Mr. Onizuka. He does daily news videos. And, of course, they're really popular. People, thousands of views on these. So you're really good. And he highlights some of the top protocols on the PulseChain every day. So big shout out to Mr. Onizuka. You can actually book him as well if you need to get good artwork done. He's definitely available for that. So we've got lots of professionals coming. We need these people, guys. We need these people. And people need people they can rely on a constant basis. And once you start launching a project or something, you quickly realize that you need really people that you can trust, people that are consistent, people that give a good quality work. You'll find out very quickly that you need that sort of quality professional service and at reasonable prices. So definitely get into that. The other one we have is Just Mike. Mike Memes. You guys must have seen him everywhere. He does typically does a lot of PulseChain ladies on here, but this one here shows some of the Muppets, and we've got Big Bird there, and is it Elmo? Is it? I think it is, and it's got a little hex picture there. I think that's pretty fun. So cool stuff coming out there from Just Mike Memes, and then of course we have Max Kane. Max Kane out there crushing it with videos. If you're a project team, you need to get really good videos done on a consistent base that are reliable, that you trust the person. These are the sort of people that you need, right? So Max Kane out there, look at this work that he's doing for RhinoFi. Absolutely amazing. Look at that. That is pretty amazing there. Max is a professional crypto marketer with experience in AI videos and promotional content. These are really three good people. If you're out there, you could hit up any of these guys with a lot of help there. So thanks for reading, and see you next week. So big shout out, of course, to the editor-in-chief. That is MVS Crypto. You should definitely give him a follow. And he's a promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show. And of course, as you guys know, we are here for the long term. As you guys know, I've been streaming around Hex and PulseChain for 6 years. I'm here every day. So we thought, we see all these problems on PulseChain. We can play a role in help solving that, particularly for small, medium project teams. And we've played a role in that for 4 months now. And I think it's been really, really great. Great win-win for everybody. So we're only getting started, guys. We're really things are really going to start turning up into the fourth quarter this year. Marketing's about to start. It is exciting. You guys got to go out there and spread the word. Everybody has a role to play. We're going to play our role, and we're looking forward to where PulseChain will be in the future. It really is exciting, and we've got lots of pieces of the puzzle coming together. Yeah, we have a setback here and there, but we always get back up. We always move forward, right? That's the key: consistency, perseverance, and hashtag, as Richard would say, winning, and in it for the glory. Let's say that's in it for the glory. Well, at least if not for the glory, for the fun. So it's going to be a lot of fun here. All right, let's have a look here. We've got some more comments. We got what's the last comment here? Frank White, thanks for the continuous coverage. Keyword there, right? Keyword there. What else do we got? Q-Baller in the house as well. Good to see Q-Baller. Hope you're doing well, Q-Baller. And what else do we got here? We got Yellowtail as well. Hit those likes. Great content, says Yellowtail. Or I appreciate that. That's awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed. The Monster Thread is out, and I'm going to post the link to this in the chat there, so you guys can give it a good read in your own times. Share it around to your friends. Very important there. So Monster 17, and that is the link right there. So kind of cool. And that is one where we're going to post that link. Let me just get it back here. Bam, there we go. So that is the link to the Monster Thread. Now, if you guys are watching after the show, of course, don't forget to leave some comments. Always look for those. And we're going to probably do a part 2 of the meme coins. That's probably going to come up. We're going to mark part 2 of the meme coins. I think meme coin wars on Coinaki War Games is going to be huge. And I think that it's a great idea. I really think that we can really build on that, can't we, with the team? So I hope you guys get excited about that. And so I'm just going to do one thing first. So let me just jump in here. And so looking pretty good. What else do? Let me I'm gonna jump there. Bam. All right, what else are we going to do? I think that's it at the moment. All right, so we've got a couple comments here from Hex Down Under, have we? Let me have a look at that. We've got Hex Down Under says, hey, Superman, weather getting a bit better here, September. Hey, look, weather is turning up. We're just coming out of winter, are we? Yeah, we're just coming out of winter, official winter, guys. Woohoo! So winter is over in good old New Zealand, Australia, Pacific Islands. We're out of it, guys. Well, we still have quite wet weather for at least another 6 weeks by my recollection. But we're officially out of winter, which is kind of cool. I just realized that as you said that. That is really, really cool. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. So weather is getting a bit better here. Crypto MVS in the house there, the editor-in-chief and promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show is here. Big shout out there. You come in just at the end, Crypto MVS, just after we finish going through the Monster Thread. How about funny about that? But great to have you in the house there. Don't forget to give him a follow. Hex Down Under says, time to accumulate for the final 4 weeks. Then it's go time. Absolutely. absolutely. So that's what we've been talking about as well. Getting in there for the rest of the year. So kind of cool. What is that? Did I post the link there or not? Yeah, I don't know what that is, but anyway. Hexdana says breakdance when PDI hits $1. Question mark. I don't know about the Hexdana. I think that time is gone. That time is gone. That time is gone. But hey, look, Q4's looking really good for crypto, and as you can see, the Ethereum bros are pumping our bags. They're going to be pumping our bags, so it's going to be good times. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is the Monster Thread number 17, and get out there, folks. Share it around, read it. Great for onboarding, and we look forward to bringing many, many more Monster Threads to you every single week. It's going to be exciting. And look, when all these people come, when they get their electronic devices, their writing pads, they're going to come onto PulseChain. They're going to need something to read, and we're here to help with that. And of course, we're going to have a good time doing it. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I will catch you on the next show. We're up to now in 35 minutes. Can you believe it? Crazy, man. We've had such long shows the last 2 days. But tomorrow we will have a special guest on, the dude. We're going to be covering another new project launching on PulseChain, and that is going to be pretty cool. That's JNS Tower, I think it's called. So look forward to that. It's tomorrow. I think that's pretty much booked in. So look forward to that. And then we're probably going to be doing, depending on what's on in the rest of the news for the week, maybe coming Friday my time, so it'll be Thursday North American time. We'll probably do, maybe we'll do meme battles part 2. And we'll deep dive into who owns what and all that sort of stuff. How about that? That sounds a little bit of fun. We're going to make a lot of conjectures, there, but it's worth doing, right? Don't forget to smash the subscribe button, hit the follow button. We've got a great crowd watching right now, and I really do appreciate you guys. Onwards and upwards, as Hex Down Under would say. Peace out. Stay safe indeed. Shall we hear? Maybe we might hear from Richard Hart. You just never know. He might knock the door. Oh, he's here. Oh, I better answer the door. All right. We'll answer the door. Maybe we might see one of these too. Maybe we might see one of these. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Bye for now.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
Sure.